بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Assalamu alaikum, brothers. As you heard from Brother Cash, I think since we're all going to be watching the match next week, it's actually good timing then that we talk about the World Cup today. And as you also heard from the brother that I'm a last minute speaker, so definitely don't expect a good talk. I thought hard about how am I going to give a good talk in such a last minute preparation, and I came out with a strategy and I thought, you know what, let's do a 50-50. I do half the talking, you guys do half the talking, and that way basically I get away with it if I end up giving a crap talk. What do I mean? We're going to talk about the World Cup. I'm going to stand up because I can't really speak on this event. I feel I'm trapped. Sorry for the cameraman once again. I'm going to have to move around a little bit. Assalamu alaikum, brothers. World Cup. Coming to an Islamic talk, and obviously you've probably seen the World Cup and people talking about World Cups in a very fanatical way. You think, why are we talking about the World Cup? This thing that probably has no relevance to Islam, no relevance to Muslims. Why are we talking about World Cup in an Islamic gathering, in an Islamic talk? I want to focus on not what the World Cup is about, because those of you who know me, you know that I actually don't know much about football. So it's not like I'm going to sit here and give you an analysis about the World Cup. I think there's a few experts here, and I expect you brothers to actually speak out when I start throwing out the questions. But I want to talk about the lessons we learn from the World Cup. How these lessons can actually apply to us as Muslims, as an individual, how it applies to us as an ummah, as a global ummah. So what are these lessons? First, let's start talking about the World Cup. And this is where you guys are going to jump in, yeah? Because I don't really know much about football apart from playing. They say I'm a good player, but I don't say that. But no. Come down Saturday. Come down Saturday and check it out, man. That's why you lot up. Alhamdulillah. World Cup. So World Cup is about football, obviously. That's the one we're talking about, not the cricket or anything else here, in case you think I'm talking about something else. World Cup football. Let's start with some of the most obvious things we can observe and learn from when we watch the World Cup. All right. In any of the matches, first of all, put your hands up. Who's been following the World Cup? So we actually have some people that haven't followed the World Cup. Respect to you, brothers. You haven't gone with the flow, which is good. Okay, all the brothers that have followed the matches, or it doesn't have to be World Cup, any other league game or whatever, any other matches. What's the obvious thing you know about a football game?
England are crap.
England are crap, okay. We'll come back to that. Who can tell me some obvious glaring facts about a football game?
There's a lot of nationalism.
A lot of nationalism, okay.
Two teams.
It's 90 minutes.
Okay, two teams.
You need a ball.
You need a ball, okay. Don't start saying you need a leg as well and football boots. Maybe that kind of detail we can do without, yeah? Maybe a bit more important kind of observations. Right, Afzal.
90 minutes of football, 2 halves.
Okay, fine. Anything
You
else?
need to score to win.
You need to score to win, okay.
Yeah, so.
Everyone hates the ref.
Yeah, I disagree with that. You don't actually need to score to win. They could do an own goal.
A rivalry. Rivals.
Rivalry, competition, challenge, okay. Anyone else? Brother in the suit there, looks like you just got married.
I went to a wedding, look, I won't be here.
Yeah,
Everyone needs to work together to achieve that particular goal or aim.
Sorry, say that again?
Everyone needs to work together, teamwork.
Okay, football, two teams play, alright, 45 minutes each half. There's competition, they need to score to win basically, and they need to do teamwork. Any other observations?
The supporters to rally the motivation and more support.
Okay, supporters to, alright, yeah, woo them or boo them, whichever way. Support, yep.
A manager and captain to organise and lead the team.
Manager and captain to organise and lead the teams. Interesting. Anyone else? Where's all the sharp analysts, man, for the football games? Any other observation? All right, let's start with some of the observations that have come out. I've got a list. By the way, yeah, as I said, I'll put my hands up. I don't know much about football in terms of all these leagues and games and stuff. I've watched a game here and there in the World Cup. But there's a few observations I think anyone who's got a rational mind, who can think, will notice some obvious things about a football game, all right, to win or whatever, right? Firstly, in each team, obviously you've got the individual players, right? Does each player need to know his role?
Yeah.
Why? So let's talk about some of the roles. What are the different roles in a team, in a game?
Defense, goalkeeper.
Defense, goalkeeping.
Field.
Striker. Did someone say fielding? Surely that's cricket.
Centre forward,
Huh?
striker, centre
Okay,
forward,
midfield, striker.
Winger.
centre back, winger.
Striker.
Warming the bench.
Huh?
Warming the bench. There has to be someone, isn't it? There's always one.
In the game. Okay? Alright, so good. Everyone agrees that each player in the team needs to have a role. Okay? What do you think is the impact if the player didn't know his role and he's in the game?
Will be out of position.
He'll be substituted.
Well, in the game I'm saying, what is the impact?
Will have an effect on the team.
So, he'll be out of position. Is that a problem?
Yeah. So
What's the consequences?
that'd be a weak point, isn't it?
That would be a weak point.
And then they'll capitalise on it.
Who capitalise on it?
Other team.
The other team?
They'll score an own goal.
They might score an own goal. Okay.
The other team who dominate.
See, I love this. See, you guys are doing the talking. I'm not even doing the talking. See what I mean? 50-50
The
goal.
other team's gonna dominate the possession.
Okay, the other team's going to dominate possession of the ball. Okay. So that's the first observation, or one of the observations I want to pick on afterwards. Yeah, I want to go back to. Just remember that in your mind. Yeah. In the team, in the game, each individual player has a role, and it is crucial that this player understands his role. He understands his aim, what he's there for. So if he's a defender, that's his aim. If he didn't know his position, can you imagine if he ends up constantly going up where the strikers are and hanging out there? What the consequences will be? There'll be no defence.
You know, like England.
Yeah? Alright, let's leave the teams aside for now, yeah? We'll come back to that. And can you imagine the strikers coming and hanging out, jamming with their own goalkeeper and stuff, yeah? Obviously, again, you'll have problems, right? So each individual player needs to know his role, what his goal is. So the defenders know that they have to defend and get the ball as far as away from the defence area. The strikers know what their role is, that when they get the ball, they're heading straight towards their opposition goalposts, yeah? Because they need to strike, they need to shoot, they need to score. Okay, that's one of the important observations. What else? Does each individual, is it enough in the team for him to understand his own role? Or is there another parallel thinking that needs to exist in his mind?
Say that again.
So each individual, let's say I'm a defender and I think, yeah, I've got to defend, I've got to defend, I've got to defend. Is that enough for him to think? Or does he also have to think something else at the same time as well? Is there a wider thinking going on as well?
There's usually like a plan before they start the game to see what position and who to pass and all that. Strategy.
Okay, team strategy. That's what we're talking about. Okay, someone else want to add to that a little bit?
Yeah, and you have to attack him. You think on the attack.
Awareness of his colleagues' roles.
Awareness of his colleagues' roles, what they're doing, where their positions are. What is that a result of? What is that indicating? What kind of thinking is this?
United thinking.
United thinking?
Structure.
Structured thinking? Anyone else?
Teamwork.
Teamwork. Anyone else want to add anything? So would you agree with me that just as much important it is for an individual to know his role in that game, he needs to also understand that he is part of a bigger thing, which is the team. So he can't just think that I'm just a defender. He's got to think that, yes, I'm a defender, but this is my team. And we have, as a team, a shared goal. Does everyone agree on this point?
Yeah.
Put your hands up if you do. That's not putting their hands up. Okay, good. Everyone's putting their hands up. Alhamdulillah. That's the second thing. Okay, so in other words, what I'm trying to get at is each individual in that team is thinking his own role for himself, and he's also thinking for the team. Right? What's important for the team to have? Now we're talking about as a team.
Leader.
Okay, leader.
Objective.
A common objective.
A common objective. In English, brother. A lot of us have
common goal.
Huh?
Common goal.
A common goal. What's the importance of having a common goal as a team?
So that
You could say it's a bit obvious, isn't it? It's like to win. Isn't that a common goal? Anyone want to say anything?
Yeah.